Week 8 slate of football games. We were just cracking a few jokes about the Minnesota Vikings and Chargers from a few days ago. Carson Wentz, rest in peace to his career, I would say.
Yeah.
Um, that was an awful, awful effort that he gave out there as a veteran quarterback playing in Kevin O'Connell's system. Jake Delhomme would be disappointed. Everyone would be disappointed. But to say the least, we were just discussing, of course, JJ McCarthy jokingly. I think his quarterback spot in that room has been pushed right back up. So you think he's ready to go? I mean, it's a situation now where you can't get any worse. You know, you invested a first round pick in this kid, and relatively he is still a kid for that matter.
Hmm.
Still very inexperienced, but the Minnesota Vikings, record wise, still are kind of in the thick of things in the NFC. So they do have a shot. You know, you got a stable of wide receivers. You got a pretty good defense. You got an experienced defense coordinator, offense coordinator as well. That team as a whole is battle tested. If they could muster up a consistent rushing attack, maybe things would be a lot easier for JJ coming back. But Vikings took a bad one on the chin, 37-10 to the Chargers, as we mentioned a little earlier. What are your thoughts on that from both perspectives, Chargers as well as Vikings?
Well, the Chargers needed to get that game. This is the perfect opponent, right? Because we know what Minnesota is with Carson Wentz. It's hit and miss. Um, I think they regret letting Sam Darnold walk. I think they would have paid him the money. Because if you look at what he's doing in Seattle, he's doing essentially everything he did last year in Minnesota, right? So obviously bad loss. Look, I don't see them getting back on track. JD is going to come back, but the last time we saw him is, he didn't do too good. Even that, week one performance, yeah, they won the game. He had a good third and fourth quarter, but yeah, I think they're done.
Well, I don't want to bury him like that
I'm going to.
because I mean, listen, when you have a pretty good defense, you know, you got a pretty good set of skill position players on offense. You can score some points. Pretty much all you need for the most part is just consistent, decent quarterback play. Just distribute the football. Don't try to do too much, but not trying to do too much isn't really part of Carson Wentz's vocabulary at all. And it was kind of what his selling point early on in his career was, the fact that he was a big athletic quarterback that could get out and run. He could make some plays downfield with his arm. But he was just never the same after that injury. Absolutely never the same. People forget that this guy was trending into top 3, top 4 quarterback in the league consideration before that injury
He
happened.
was
And
supposed to win the MVP.
absolutely, absolutely. Same draft with Jared Goff for that matter.
Yeah, but going back to you're saying the Vikings had a good defense. Well, that defense didn't get off the plane apparently to play in LA. Over 300 yards of offense they gave it to the Chargers. Herbert threw 3 touchdowns. Vidal had 117 yards rushing on 23 carries. Justin Herbert, 62 yards rushing. Yeah, I think Minnesota's done, man. I really do.
Herbert's
The
been
deep,
running a lot more this season too.
yes, he has, and so is
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes. And we kind of talked about that, right? That they need to utilize their legs a little bit more than what they had in the past. But I mean, to me, I don't even think of Minnesota
Whew.
being in contention in that division or even for a playoff spot this year.
No, for the most part, you look around the NFC North, and I'm going to get into some of these teams in a second just to prove a point. But Bears have won 4 straight games, or is it 5 straight? No, they've won
Uh,
4 straight.
for
Yeah, they won 4 straight. Green Bay sitting up there with just one loss. Detroit, as a team, we already know they are who they are. So this could be the year where the Minnesota Vikings are that team that completely just take a step back. But to point to the parity in the NFL, and I just want to go through the current standings in the league right now. We are at the midpoint of the NFL season, right? Week 8, week 9, so to speak. Um, we've got 2 1-loss teams. The Indianapolis Colts at 6-1, and then you got the Green Bay Packers with 1 loss right behind them, and they also have that tie, of course. Outside of them, we have 8 5-2 teams, 3 4-2 teams, 1 5-3 team, which ironically is the Chargers for that matter, and we got 3 4-3 teams. So we have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Over half the league at the 8-week mark has the opportunity to finish with the number 1 seed. I don't think historically we've ever seen that type of parity in the league where half the NFL has a legitimate shot at winning their conference at the midway point.
Yeah, at least not in a while. Obviously, injuries have a part to do with that. But yeah, man, things are kind of even. I mean, even the Chiefs. I mean, now they're starting to bounce back, right? But they had a rough start. Same thing with the Chargers. With the couple games they lost, against some teams and whatnot. And look at Carolina. Carolina, we thought they were done, and they won what, 3 in a row, 4 in a
Yeah.
row.
Yep. And I think that the whole, well, this team didn't play anybody argument doesn't really play this season because it seems like everybody's in the same damn boat.
Yeah.
Detroit took a bad loss early on to Green Bay. Um, the Eagles went through a 2-game losing streak for that matter. So the Chiefs lost to the Jaguars. So everybody's taking it this season. It's just about health and surviving, I believe, more than anything else. But to be this deep into the season, like I said, at the midway point, and to legitimately still have a shot at the number 1 seed in your conference, just says a lot to the amount of parity in the league. And everybody's got talent. We say that every single all season. Everybody seemingly gets better through the NFL draft or free agency or both. And now we're in a situation where we have situations like this. The Atlanta Falcons, one of the more talented teams in all of football. The Miami Dolphins, not so much. I just want to get into the Miami Dolphins and some ironic numbers for this team right now. So offensively this season, this is a Mike McDaniels coach NFL team who just 3 years ago we were talking about them potentially being one of the more close to greatest shows on turf type of offenses, LA Rams back in the day. Right now, currently, they're 27th in yards, they're 25th in points scored, they're 29th in rushing yards, they're 26th in passing yards. Defensively doesn't get any better at all. They're 26th in yards given up. They're 29th in points allowed at almost 30 per game. Right now they're at 29.3. They're 32nd in the league, dead last in rushing yards given up at 160 yards per game. In passing yards, they're 11th given up at 203. I don't understand how Mike McDaniel still has a job in a situation like that. We've cracked jokes about head coaches being on the hot seat. You can still tell that at least one side of the ball is playing. If the defense, listen, man, if the defensive side of the football, if they're not playing for the head coach, they're at least playing for the positional coach, or they're playing for the defensive coordinator because they like him. Usually, when teams are bottom quarter in the league and everything, nobody gives a fuck. I'm just go like that. That's what it comes
Let's
down
be
to.
honest, yeah.
Nobody gives a fuck.
No.
Nobody. And the notions of the players don't respect him. Look at the way he dresses. Look at the way he talks. Look at the way he carries himself in public. The way he talks to the media. Look at his hair. Look at his quarterback. Miami looks like one of the biggest laughing stocks in the league. We talk a lot of crap about the Jets too, but the Jets have a bunch of talent on that team. Like,
if they
but
do, they
and
haven't. Yeah.
yeah, and they've got a first-year head coach as well. Like, but Mike McDaniels, this situation right now with the Dolphins, I don't get how they get out of this season. They may be holding on to him just intentionally, which
For
touches on
what?
a story we're going to talk about later on this week, I think, concerning the Miami Dolphins. But they could be in a situation where they may have the attitude of, hey, wait a minute, let's see where this is going. How bad can we be?
Well,
So they
I
can have
mean,
that pick.
if you really want to get ahead as far as the coaching search goes, look, Tennessee's already looking for their next head coach, right? Miami, there's a lot to unpack there. Obviously, the quarterback situation is not ideal. Tua has not played well. This team could have easily won a couple games if it wasn't for his bad turnovers, specifically in that Buffalo game on Thursday Night Football, and also against the Patriots a couple weeks back. But I mean, I think we both know that Mike McDaniel is going to be gone at the end of the year. He'll probably end up going back to San Francisco, just like Robert Saleh. Um, Tua, he's not going to be there next year. So they're just a bad football team, man. They can't get anything going. Obviously, Tyreek Hill being out with that leg injury is not going to help out the offense. Tua apparently had an illness this week, but he is going to play. Um, and then with the Atlanta Falcons, Michael Penix is out with an injury. So Kirk Cousins, back from the dead, he'll be starting today at quarterback for the Falcons, a game which I think they can win without Drake London as well. He's going to be out. Um, yeah, things are just bad in Miami.
I don't think the Falcons can win over the Miami Dolphins. Is that big of a limb to jump out on?
Mhm.
You still got Bijan out there, and you got Kyle Pitts, and you got some other guys that can get downfield and make some plays, and you got a Miami Dolphins offense. I just gave the numbers right there.
Yeah, they're not good.
Nah, they're not good at all. So for everybody out there that can put two and two together, me and this man both are picking the Miami Dolphins. It's like we're picking
No,
Atlanta.
no, we
We're
are
picking
not.
the Atlanta Falcons.
We're taking the Falcons.
No way you're gonna take that money. No way. No way.
No.
All right. So Baltimore hosting Chicago. Let them know what the situation looks like, man.
All right, so Lamar Jackson was scheduled to play today. Obviously, he's not. He had a setback apparently in practice. Apparently, the NFL is going to investigate something that happened during practice with Lamar Jackson, some restrictions. Not too sure what the whole deal is, but we'll get you guys filled in on Wednesday because he is going to play next week on Thursday Night Football against
Yeah.
the Miami Dolphins. Snoop Huntley, the Pro Bowler, he is back, so he's going to be starting for the Baltimore Ravens today. Uh, Bears, they've been on a hot streak as of late. Um, Look, if the Ravens have any chance to potentially make the playoffs, make a playoff push today, you got to win. But I don't see it. I really don't.
We've said that about a lot of games this season.
We have.
Yeah. We've seen potentially bigger upsets than this, I guess. Bears riding a hot streak right now. Didn't play great against the Saints last week.
Yeah, but they
You
won.
know, yeah. I mean, defensively, the Saints' issue was the fact that they couldn't stop the run at all. Now, through the air, they were able to pretty much stifle the pass. Caleb had 172 through the air and threw a pick. Bears still won. Bears are a better team currently right now than the Saints are.
Yeah.
I just think that I just got a funny feeling about this, man. About them going to Baltimore in this
And
game.
then, and quick injury note also, DeAndre Swift, he was questionable. He is a go. So he will be playing today against Ravens.
Yep. Yep. Also something else. Ravens pass rush hasn't been too good this season so far. Bears haven't been too good as far as in regards to allowing a lot of pressures on Caleb. So that's something else you could be on the lookout for. Zay Flowers, their leading receiver, pretty much right now. He's starting to pick it up a little bit. If
Mm,
they can get some play action going, I think downfield, because defensively the Bears will bite on that.
yeah.
Maybe
I
be able to
mean,
get Hopkins the ball downfield a little bit more. Zay Flowers underneath, little catch and runs opportunities. They could have a chance. This is
yeah.
just me going out on a limb. Listen, man,
Yeah.
the Bears riding a hot streak right now. They haven't played too good a competition, even though I said you can't really fault anybody for that right now. But I think they're taking advantage of who they're playing right now, and that could come to a stop today in Baltimore. Plus, all
Think
the
about the
money's on the Bears too.
yeah.
Think of the money.
Think about the roller coaster ride this Baltimore Ravens team has gone through this season, right? Obviously, that week one meltdown against the Buffalo Bills, Lamar Jackson is injury, Adabuke's neck injury, he's out for the whole year. I think the majority of the problems is injuries on the defensive side of the football. And we know this team is different when Lamar's playing and not playing, and he's going to be out today. So I mean, if he was to play today, I might have picked the Ravens to win, right? But it's Snoop Huntley. I mean, enough said. I know he made the Pro Bowl a couple years ago,
Man,
but we know what that was.
show some faith, man. Show some
I
belief
got
in the
none.
fact that anything can happen this season.
Not in this game. Give me Chicago.
Anything can happen this season.
Not this game. Give me the
I'm
Bears.
taking Baltimore, man.
Oh, of course you are.
Hands down. Hands down. All right, so Jets at Bengals. Oh, the Joe Flacco Bowl. Joe's got a score to settle with the.
Has this guy not played like all 32 teams in the league? It kind of seems like it.
Joe's thrown for 5 touchdowns with 3 or 4 teams. 4 different teams, if I'm not mistaken, with Cleveland too.
Yeah, wild stuff.
Joe's the man.
Yeah.
Give me the Bengals.
All right. Well, yeah, give me the Bengals. And obviously, Tyrod Taylor was supposed to be starting for the Jets today. Apparently, he's got an injury. So guess what? Justin Fields gets another chance to redeem himself. So, and Aaron Glenn's still looking for his first win. I do not think he gets it today, though. Yeah, give me the Bengals.
Yeah, we don't have the over-under on that. I'm really interested in that.
I mean, what could it be? 35.5. I mean,
41, maybe 41.5, possibly.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, the Jets, they got a lot of problems too, but obviously the quarterback is the issue. They can't get anything going on offense. A lot of rumors out there that they're looking to move players before the deadline, which is what, next week or in 2 weeks.
Not surprised.
Yeah, man, it's a bad situation there.
Well, listen, remember we made the comparison with this rebuild in regards to the rebuild that Aaron Glenn was a part of here in Detroit 5 years ago. You know,
yeah.
When they took over this team, this organization, the cupboard was completely bare. Like the Jets had talent when he got there. The cupboard was completely bare here. So everybody that they brought in, from St. Brown as a rookie to Sewell and all those guys who was the very first pick by Brad Holmes here, everybody had no choice but to buy into what the hell they were being told. Like this guy's in a situation where he's gonna have to clean house. Jets fans may need to come to grips with reality that they may not see a team willingly winning, being able to consistently win for another year and a half or 2 years. By year 3, they could be a 10-win team.
Well, and then look, Aaron Glenn has had some, I don't want to say issues with the media, but there's been certain times at the press conference he'll fight back a little bit.
He's a salty guy, man. Remember, they wear the salty T-shirts here.
Yeah,
he's a salty guy.
Hey, look, the highlight for the Jets this season so far was Aaron Glenn dancing on the sidelines against Tampa Bay when he thought they had won the game.
Oh, the strut.
Yeah, the strut. Morning, guys. Ravens, Bears lost to Huntley before and lose again.
It's possible. It's very well possible. I just, man, I'm rooting for Aaron. Not so much rooting for Ben Johnson over in Chicago, but Aaron's over there in the AFC. He does us no harm. But is it possible Justin Fields bounces back after hearing all the crap he had to hear all week? And damn,
I mean, I hope he does. I'm pulling for him, but from what I've seen, no. But I mean, you are playing against a Bengals defense that then a player request to trade this week. The linebacker, I forget name, escapes my memory.
Logan Wilson.
Yep. Yeah, you requested a trade.
Well, I mean, the Jets got their own turmoil too. You got a running back that's seemingly been getting rumored to be traded since he was a rookie, and Breece Hall, and edge rusher and Jermaine Johnson, and you hear Sauce Gardner rumors, and you got your owner coming out throwing Justin Fields under the bus. Now you have no choice but to go back to Justin Fields now. So how does Justin Fields ultimately feel about being in New York? So the Jets got a lot going on. Bengals got a lot going on too, but the Bengals right now are one of those teams that are still in the thick of it, still competing.
And you know what? They made the right move, trading for Joe Flacco.
Well, we'll find out after the day.
Well,
if Joe goes out there and has 4 picks now,
I don't. Do you see it against the Jets today?
neither of these teams honestly are good. I think the Bengals just have more firepower.
Oh yeah, they got better players.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, give
Bengals
me
and
the
7.
Bengals.
Brent, what up, Brent? Brent DeWitt also has Bengals. Damn right, man. Uh, we
I
ain't no
mean, if you
fools.
if you had Jets, you got some issues. I mean, I'm just saying, if you would have picked the Jets over the Bengals, yeah, and
Well,
watch
you
the
could
Jets
be
win
a
games.
degenerate gambler out. You could be one of those degenerate gamblers out there though that just take the underdog for any and every reason. But we can't honestly be that. And that kind of points to this game right here. So Bills and
Mm,
Panthers. I was kind of scared about this game earlier. I was going through some of the numbers. I was watching the preview on it. I looked at the fact that the Bills defensively against the pass have not been very good the past couple games. Josh Allen, his weapons on the outside have struggled to get open all season. Against the Falcons in that game on prime time, I think he kind of resorted back to some of his old habits and trying to force things, force a lot of footballs in there. That window's closed, but I can open it. I got that type of arm talent. John Coleman still isn't living up to where they picked him at right now. He still can't separate or
nope.
consistently make plays after the catch for that matter, or even be at least a consistent catch type of guy, Brandon Marshall, Drake London type of guy. They're struggling right now through the air. I'm listening. I made it wasn't a joke when I brought it up earlier in the week about them potentially being a landing spot for AJ Brown this offseason if the Eagles do decide to move him. I think if you're the Buffalo Bills, he's what that team needs.
Yeah,
He's what Josh Allen needs to help that offense really get over the hump. But never mind trades. I got Buffalo today. I think this is a get right game for them. They can't really afford to lose 3 straight either, considering the situation that they're in. The New England Patriots are coming. Regardless of how good you think they are a team that has a good young quarterback. They make some
yeah,
plays defensively. They can run the football pretty decently. Good, solid young offensive line. Um, they got a head coach that's battle tested. He knows how to get them there. And they were my 10th best team in the league before the season started. I think by the time it's all said and done, New England's going to be something to be reckoned with. So if Buffalo wants to make sure they stay ahead of the schedule, they better not flop this one today.
yeah. A couple of injury notes. So Don Kincaid, yeah, he was out the last time they played against the
Yeah.
Falcons. He's back. Buffalo coming off the bye week, which I think is going to help them. Also, Bryce Young, he is going to be out for the Carolina Panthers, and it's going to be Andy Dalton starting at quarterback today. Give me the Bills.
No chance Carolina playing at home. I mean, they did it to Dallas.
Well, I just think Buffalo coming off the bye, we're able to assess some things. Tre'Davious White has not looked good on the back end, man. He's been getting worked. But with all that, yeah, I still like Buffalo coming off the bye, and I don't see them losing 3 in a row.
Fair enough. All right, so 49ers Texans, D'Amico Ryan's Bowl, former Houston Texans defensive coordinator there. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for the 40, he was the former defensive coordinator over there in San Francisco with the 49ers.
Yeah.
Um, got a situation so they're expecting Brock Purdy back next week, if I'm not
So
mistaken.
let's go through that real quick. So obviously Purdy's going to be out today. Ricky Pearsall's out today. They got a lot of injuries, man. Right. Also with the Houston, Nico Collins concussion, he's out today. Right.
Yep,
And we saw that offense for Houston did not look good at all. So now when you take away Nico Collins, what do they even have on there?
not much.
Don
Not
Schultz,
much.
he had a good game,
Yeah,
but
not much.
look, the Niners have been dealing with injuries all season long, but yet they've been able to win football games.
Yeah.
Give me the Niners.
Yep. I also think the Niners are pretty much the more disciplined football team, better coached. Kyle Shanahan does a better job of squeezing every ounce of juice out of that orange, figuratively speaking, than I think almost any head coach in the NFL. If you look at the fact that he has the most injured football team the last 5 years in the league, and this man still manages to crack out 10 wins every season. So I
Yeah.
give him a lot of crap as far as post game stuff, postseason stuff, or whatnot. But Kyle Shanahan, he's the man out there. But I'm picking the Niners too, and I think you and I both picking the 49ers points a little more in regards to the fact that we just don't have too much belief in the Texans.
They
You
can't
know,
score points.
yeah,
They
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 can't
have no
score.
offense. The defense is
The
good, and
defense,
that's what
yeah,
keeping him in games. I mean, think about it. They had 4 turnovers against Seattle,
yeah.
right? I mean, it's just offense is just not good. CJ,
Well,
it
the
almost looks
Texans
like he's
also can't stop the run neither.
well, yeah, that too. But it just to me, CJ looks like he was regressing a little bit. I mean, I know the changes on the offensive line from a year ago. I mean, they're not doing him any favors, but still, I mean, you can kind of tell towards the end of the game in that Seattle game that they kind of did not trust CJ's, uh, you know, passing, or I don't know. It just seemed a little bit weird to me.
Everything's been taken from them. Let's be honest. You like I said, listen, you traded John Mechie. Nico does all he can, but Nico can't stay healthy for shit. Stephon Diggs had a cup of coffee there, tore his ACL and left. Tank Dell may not play football again. He has no running back situation. Mixon
It,
isn't there. The
is Joey even
offensive
going to come
line is
back this
bad.
year? I think it's done. I don't think he's going to come back.
Point proven. So it's like, and look at the offensive line.
Especially the left side. The left side of the line is
Listen,
horrendous.
for everyone that says CJ Stroud has regressed, doesn't he have a right to regress though?
Well, yeah, he does, but at the same time, I expect
And
him to
he's
make
not a
better.
running quarterback. He's
Well,
not Anthony Richardson out
but
there. He's not out
still,
there making plays with his legs.
but he's had some questionable throws. To me, right, the way that I see it, he's still, yeah, he's regressing because the line's not good. He's regressing because he's got no running game, and these offensive weapons are limited. But still, I still would expect him to make some better decisions at times than what he has.
If they could run the football, yes. With that defense and him as a quarterback, the quality he is as a quarterback, because I still believe CJ Stroud is a quality NFL quarterback.
And
But
you
if
know
you
what?
factor in what everything that's been taken from him and the fact that they can't, he doesn't have a rushing attack to help him at all. Pass blocking, their bottom half in the league percentage wise. He has no weapons. It's Schultz, okay. But at the end of the day, like if you strip him of everything, what do you really expect him to do?
And this is a team that me and you both picked to win the division in the offseason, right? Obviously, they're not going to win the division. It seems like it's going to be the Colts. But I think Nick
Uh,
Caserio in the offseason is going
yeah.
to, figure it out because I think he's a good GM. D'Amico Ryan's a good head coach. They'll figure it out. Now, the offensive coordinator, is he going to be back? Maybe not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Quiet, buddy. It's my dog over here barking at some squirrel out the window.
Or is
But
he barking at CJ Stroud to make better throws? One of the two.
man, listen, CJ hasn't been good at all. They look damn good against the Raven defense though. A
Who hasn't looked
couple,
good against the Ravens defense?
yeah. Yeah, I listen, I'm taking the 49ers too. And as I pointed to earlier, I think you and I both picking the 49ers points more to the fact that we don't believe in the Houston Texans right now on too many levels. But I will say this also, and because D'Amico Ryan's got to take some responsibility in this. There's a high level defense. CJ Stroud is still a good young quarterback. You would think that you would be able to figure out some sort of consistent offense with him in that defense and look more
Yeah.
adequate offensively than what they look right now. So,
And by the way, happy National Tight End Day. I think George Kittle gets a touchdown today against Houston.
yeah, give or take,
He
that's possible.
he had no catches last week against the Falcons. I
Unacceptable.
don't know if you knew.
Unacceptable.
He was more of a blocker, offensive lineman, than he was a receiver.
Speaking of tight ends, David
Oh,
Njoku.
mm,
Browns at Patriots. Patriots rolling right now, man. Let's
yeah.
think about it.
The last time the Browns won in New England, do you know when that was?
Billy Belichick.
Yes, 94, 93, or 93, 94. That's the last time the Browns won in New England. Look,
Yep.
the Patriots got everything rolling right now, right? Drake has played outstanding. Stephon Diggs has definitely made a difference in that offense. Defense is playing well. You're playing a Browns team that is still trying to figure things out, and even with their quarterback situation. I mean, is it going to be Dylan Gabriel the rest of the year, or at some point are we going to see Shador? I like the Patriots today.
Well, I agree. I got the Patriots as well right now. This team is right 4-game winning streak. Drake May has them top half of the league right now offensively, as far as passing the football. He's done a damn good job, and I think Brian. I'm thinking about Brian Callahan in Cincinnati. I think Mike Vrabel has done a great job of calming him down offensively. He's done a pretty good job of getting rid of the ball very quickly this season, distributing the football to the guys that he does have out there. It doesn't have any big name guys out there, but I think this is something that points to the maturation of a talented young quarterback and maybe eventually becoming that guy, like one of those dudes around the league with Josh Allen and them, because we all know Drake May has a big arm. He's mobile. He can push the ball downfield. But once you're able to graduate to game manager, that's when I think gunslingers really start to reach that next level. Defensively, they're kind of middle of the pack right now, but they're doing enough to win games. You can question who they played as well. That Cleveland Browns defense, we mentioned it early on in the season. They were playing above water. They were younger, not younger, but they were fresh. They did trade Newsom though, but they did get Tyson Campbell over there. He had a pretty big impact since he's been there via trade. But Brown still can't score for the most part. I understand that they did what they did to the Miami Dolphins last week, but we explained earlier in the show that the Miami Dolphins currently are the worst team to ever play football ever. So what Cleveland did to Miami can be kind of thrown in the garbage because the Patriots aren't Miami. Patriots rolling right now. I think that defense for Cleveland also is a little bit worn down. We're talking about the middle of the season right now, and you win as long as you went without being able to crack 20 points, without being able to crack 30 points since week 13 of last season. Browns come back to earth. Patriots win today.
Yep. I got nothing else to add on that one.
Got nothing for it.
David Njoku might get moved
to the Raiders.
No,
3 tight ends.
We got a tight end.
All right.
He just hurt.
All right, man. Giants at Eagles. Eagles looking for revenge after a couple of weeks ago when Jackson Dart scored some cool points off of them. I think that type of loss, maybe we're overvaluing Jackson Dart's impact. And I understand when you're the Giants franchise and you've been that putrid at quarterback for as long as they've been since Eli Manning left. Jackson Dart has given the offense, he's given the coaching staff, he's given the fan base
everything,
that,
man.
Yeah, he's giving them Joe the engine.
Everything that they've been looking for, Jackson
he's been the Red
delivered.
Bull. He's been the Red Bull for them, but they're still not winning though. Like they're still a under 500 team. And you can make the argument that game last week against the Broncos could be a game that collapses a team like them.
Yeah, I mean, the way they lost, the Broncos scored 30 some points in the fourth quarter last week, which is crazy to me. Injury notes real quick. AJ Brown, he is going to be out, dealing with a hamstring injury, so he's out for the Eagles. Has Saquon had a 100-yard rushing game yet this year? I don't think so, right?
Now, if I'm not mistaken, he hasn't even had a game where he eclipsed 6 yards a carry. And he was averaging 3.9 the first 4 weeks.
All right. Well, this is the game. He's going to rush over 100 yards. I think the Eagles are going to give the Giants a beatdown. A little payback from a couple weeks back on Thursday Night Football. Giants on the road in Philly. Fangio seeing some things now. He's got extra tape to see what Jackson likes to do as far as for defensive purposes. Give me the Eagles.
So you're telling me there's no shot at all that the Giants have of
sweeping
the Philadelphia Eagles?
There's a shot, but I don't think it happens. I think Saquon finally gets back on track. I want to say 2 touchdowns, maybe over 100 yards rushing. 150 all-purpose yards for Saquon. I think today is a day he has a good game. At least I'm hoping. I got him on my fantasy team. Do something.
You think with and I'm not trying to start no trouble or nothing, but you think with AJ Brown being out, offensively the Eagles may want to have a little bit of point to prove. Maybe not as a
Well,
unit, but
uh,
maybe as a quarterback and
well,
Devontae Smith and some guys out there.
I don't know if a point to prove, but the offense might look a lot better today without AJ Brown.
So you think they may put forth an effort to do that to
Well,
kind
if
of
they want to
prove
win
that
the
point?
if they want to win the game, they have to. I mean, let's be honest here. I know they beat Minnesota last week, but they haven't been playing up to their standards. Even that Week 1 game, it easily could have been a loss against Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, they're still the Eagles though, you know, for the
Well,
most
I
part.
mean, yeah, but they gotta play good and win football
That's
games.
why I'm honestly I don't think I truly believe this game is going to be much closer than we believe though. I do, for the simple fact that the Eagles offensively, the interior of that offensive line has been bad like all season. This is not the front seven you want to be bad against at all. They didn't play well against the Giants front seven a few weeks ago, well, a couple weeks ago for that matter.
I
And the Giants and Eagles have those types of games from time to time. And you can make the argument that not having AJ Brown today could be to their detriment as well, where they need some of those big plays. Because now you're a little bit easier to defend because if the front seven can handle Saquon by themselves, that's going to put the Eagles passing game in a shit world of trouble. Because all you got now is Devontae Smith. You can't really consistently depend on anybody else. Maybe a tight end here or there. And Saquon is still having his struggles this season so far. So listen, man, this is one of those games where you could crap out. But you and I both are gonna bet on the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm Eagles. Saquon over 100 yards.
To Saquon over 100, huh?
Oh yeah, take it to the bank.
Let's move on. Bucks and Saints. So Baker, man. Um, I want to comment on this real quick because this was against my team a few
Mm,
days ago. So um Tampa Bay, New Orleans. I think this is a trap game for the Bucks for a few reasons. So against Detroit, you're looking at an offense that had 9 points. They were 4 for 16 on third down. They had one trip to the red zone. And also, this is a team that scored 25 or more points in their previous 5 games. But once again, I told people this was going to happen. I don't know what it is, whether it's an Aaron Glenn defense, it's a Kelvin Shepard defense, maybe it's just a Dan Campbell defense. I don't know what it is, but offensively, we stifle Tampa Bay's offense. We've done it the past 3 years. They've struggled to crack 20 against us every game the last 4 games we played them. And we've given Baker a lot of trouble. Now, did the fact that Mike Evans being out, which is important as well because he's out
the
today,
factor. Yep.
yes, that was a factor. Abuka not being completely healthy was a factor, but he still chose to suit up and play. So you can't really use that as an excuse. Godwin is always in and out of the lineup. They're in a situation where they use Rashad White now as the number one back instead of just the power back. Bucky Irving, one of their bigger playbacks, he's out. This is a game where if you're the Bucks, is going to really test your character, your mental as an organization and as a team. Because even though this is a divisional game, if you're Tampa, you were that 5-1 team that you were going into Detroit to play them a few nights ago. If you're that team and you're not something else, you should be able to step on the Bucks and get the Bucks out of here. Doesn't mean that you're going to beat Tampa, you're going to beat New Orleans 48-15 or nothing like that. But you should be able to stay clear of New Orleans in this game. But like I said, the Saints defense through the air last week, they pretty much shut down Caleb Williams and that passing attack. Tampa, Baker is still without the guys he's without. Could this turn out to be a game where the Saints pulled the upset? I wouldn't be surprised at all. but I'm still taking Tampa because I do believe Tampa's better and they will bounce back.
Yeah, give me Tampa too. I just think they're a better football team. I know playing New Orleans is not the easiest thing to do, and we saw Baker struggle against the Lions. I think he's got a bounce back game in him, and yeah, give me Tampa.
No chance for the Saints.
Well, I mean, there's always a chance,
They
but
got that one win.
if you're asking me if they're gonna win, no, not today. Tampa's just a better football team.
It just makes you wonder, man. In your estimation, sidetrack for a second. You question what's more important at times with some of these teams because if you watch the Saints play this season, they play good enough to kind of be in Carolina's position, but they just can't score. The defense hasn't been great for the Saints. They play great in spots, but they've played good enough to be better than what they are. They just can't score. That's the problem. And you look at I was looking at a comparison between them earlier in the season. Do you know that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers only have, I think, 4 more first downs than the New Orleans Saints all season?
I did
But
not
they've
know that.
outscored them by almost 60 points. So
Field
offense is
position,
important. Yes.
field
Yes.
position too. So
Yeah. And I was about to call him Desmond Ritter, but it's not like Spencer Rattler. Don't want to insult the man like that, but it's not like Spencer Rattler's been out there turning the ball over like crazy either. Even though he did throw 3 picks against Chicago last week. But before that, he only had 1 interception on the season. So just saying, man, you got to be able to score some points at some point in time, man. We said the same thing about the Cleveland Browns. There's only a matter of time before the levee breaks and it gets to a point where you're on a 3 or 4 game losing streak and you're all stuck. But you and I both agree that we're going to take the Bucks in this game. Close game though. Close game though.
close, but yeah, give me Tampa.
All right, I don't think this game is going to be close at all. I think the Colts are for real. How for
They
real?
are.
How serious do you take Daniel Jones? I don't know. Daniel's
Oh,
only doing what he can do, what he's asked to do in the offense. He's doing it at a high level. He's getting the playmakers to football. Jonathan Taylor is looking like a top 3 running back again.
yeah.
Pittman's looking great. I think the tight end. I keep forgetting
Tyler
his name
Warren.
too. Tyler
Do not
Warren.
forget the man's name. Rookie of the year,
Well,
offensive rookie of the year.
yeah. I was gonna say that he's a guy that I felt Carolina should have took, honestly, instead of what's the tight end, the wide receiver name they took
Oh,
out of
Tate
Arizona, Ted
McMillan.
McMillan. Yeah. I think that Tyler Warren would have made Bryce Young a better player immediately, very quickly. But yeah, man, offensive rookie of the year right there, and they look focused. They look focused. They look way ahead of schedule than what the Titans look like right now. So I don't see the Colts blowing this. Yes, it is a divisional game, so you have to always factor that in. But today, I
Uh,
don't think so. I
no,
think
not
I think
when
they
you're
blow
playing
these
against
guys out the
Tennessee.
water.
Not when you're playing against a team that just fired their head coach a couple weeks back. Not against a team that has been struggling on offensively, defensive side of the ball, and not when you're playing against Cam Ward. At least this year. Yeah, give me the Colts, and they're gonna win big at home. Taylor probably gets 2 touchdowns on the ground.
How good are the Colts?
I mean, to me, they're pretty good. But I mean, and I know a lot of people are saying, well, they haven't really played anybody. Well, you play who your schedule says you play, and right now they're 6-1, top of the AFC. Daniel Jones is probably going to win comeback player of the year unless he has a meltdown second part of the season. The running game, man, has been a difference. Man, how good is Jonathan Taylor? People forget about this guy. He is good. He was good when he was playing at Wisconsin. Um, yeah, just I think the Colts are good, and I think they might make a move or two before the deadline for the defensive side of the ball. But I think they're pretty good, and I think they're tough to beat at home, and they could easily be undefeated if they didn't have the whole debacle against the Rams. The receiver drops the ball in the end zone
True, true, true.
easily, and people forget about that kind of stuff, and people are quick to bag on Daniel Jones because of what happened with the Giants. And then him, last year being what he was the 3rd string in Minnesota, decides to go to Indianapolis because he knew he could outplay Anthony Richardson and he would be the starting quarterback there. And it's safe to say Anthony Richardson's career, at least in Indianapolis, is done. So he's probably going to be somewhere else next season. Shane Steichen, what he's done with this offense, what he's done with Daniel Jones has been nothing for, it's been impressive. But yeah, I mean, I think the Colts are for real.
All right, so I want to ask you this then. I'm gonna go through the top 10 teams in the NFL right now, at least in regards to record wise. Colts right now they're number one in the league. They're 6-1. Are they better than Green Bay?
Yes.
Are they better than Denver?
Yes. They beat Denver already.
Are they better than Detroit?
No.
Are they better than the Rams?
It's even.
Thank you. And I was gonna say that because for those same reasons, they had a couple a mental issue here and there, and they lost that game. I honestly believe they outplayed the Rams in that game.
They did.
You know, are they better than New England?
Yes.
Are they better than the Eagles?
Maybe. The Eagles should. I mean, look, the Eagles are pretty good, right? It's just the record. Obviously, they're playing a different schedule. They're playing a first place schedule, you know. But I think the Colts are good, man. Not taking anything away from Philly.
Are they better than the 49ers?
Yes.
Are they better than Seattle?
Yes.
Okay, and number 10, are they better than Tampa?
Yes.
You believe so? I mean, are we also factoring in? Are we basing this off of current conditions? Because if we're talking about,
I am. If you're asking me today, October the 26th, who's better? All that comes into consideration.
Okay. So for the most part, they're championship contenders. Even though Kansas City, you can argue, are they better than Kansas City or would they beat Kansas City? Those are two completely different stories.
Well, I think they would keep up with them. I really do, especially if they're playing at home. I mean, look, you get Jonathan Taylor rolling, man, you're going to be in football games, and if you're not putting the game squarely on Daniel, on his shoulders, yeah, I think they can compete with anyone. I mean, look, we've seen the games they've had this year. I mean, I haven't seen anything else that tells me they're not good. Again, they could have easily beat the Rams, and they just took the Chargers to the woodshed. And Chargers are Super Bowl contenders in some people's eyes.
Well, they are the only 5-3 team in football, so I think that that matters a lot.
I mean, well, I mean, I'm not dying it.
It's obvious that they're a credible football team. Let's be honest. They've got an all-pro caliber tight end. I'm gonna say that right now. And I said prior to the NFL draft that this man was going to be a star.
He is a top 5 tight end in the league right now.
Yes,
top 5.
I said prior to the draft that this young man was going to be a star, and he's become that.
Yeah, he's everything that the Colts needed. Essentially, he is their biggest offensive weapon besides Jonathan Taylor.
Well, even more than that, he fits their identity.
He's just good, man. Just give him the damn ball and he'll make a play.
Yeah.
We saw what he did at Penn State. We knew he was going to be good. Just maybe some people didn't know about him.
I still think they're probably one wide receiver away. I love Josh Downs too. I love Pittman as a possession receiver. I don't trust Adonai Mitchell at all. I didn't when he was in college either. He's always the guy that's making either the bonehead play or dropping the big pass on third down or something. If they had another guy that could make plays, what if they had Jameson Williams?
Oh, they would actually use him. They would use him, not like the Lions have.
Oh, out of play action with Jonathan Taylor? Oh man. Yeah, so I think the Colts are serious, man. And by no means do they have a slip up today. So let's move on.
Yeah.
Cowboys at Broncos, I think, could turn out to be the game of the day.
It's gonna be a shootout, man.
Pat Surtain out there, matched up with some George Pickens and some CeeDee Lamb. You got some Lamb and some Pickens out there. It's interesting, man. That Broncos defense has been a lot better than we thought it would be. Prior to the season.
Well, last week they didn't look too good.
Well,
against
the second half, they blanked them.
No Malik Neighbors.
Oh, but they didn't have Malik Neighbors in the first half neither, though.
I know, that's what I'm saying. They didn't look good in the first half.
How good are the Giants going to be with Neighbors next season?
Oh man.
What if they
I,
find their Tyler Warren? Something like that,
oh, Johnson's been pretty good for them. I think hasn't he scored every game Jackson's played in?
Yeah.
Theo Johnson.
Yes. But when you're talking about the Giants, I think you're trying to make Jackson Dart better. You want to make sure there's no such thing as not enough talent on offense for him. But they got
No.
to fix that offensive line, I think, prior to doing anything else. But anyway, all right. So Cowboys at Broncos. Broncos coming off a 33-point fourth quarter, biggest deficit overcome in NFL history. No team has ever scored 33 points in the fourth quarter after going scoreless in the first three. What do you think about this game here? Because they're still at home, they're still at Mile High. Prior to last week's game, you and I both joked about how crazy things happen at Mile High. We threw that out there in the air, and showing up, some crazy stuff happened down the stretch. They won in a walk-off fashion for the most part. But any chance the Broncos have a setback today? Because in theory, they're better overall as a football team than Dallas. I don't think there's any arguing that. Cowboys fans can boost up how great their offense is all day. It's not getting y'all nowhere, because if you can't stop the run and you're not also struggling to get after the quarterback, what else do you have? Like, you're a team that has a straight right hand but don't have no jab, don't have a left hook, don't have uppercut, you have no movement, you have no, like, nothing else is going on for you right now. So any chance that Dallas goes to Denver and pulls the upset?
Yes. I'm actually picking the Cowboys to win.
There you have it. Give me some reasons.
Well, they got the offensive side of the ball going. CeeDee Lamb being back is a big factor. We saw what we did last week, right? George Pickens has been playing really good, so he's probably going to end up getting a contract extension in Dallas. They can run the football, and just the offense is pretty good. Yeah, I know they got some issues on the defensive side of the football, but I think they're going to be able to outscore Denver today. And then, Denver coming off that big win against the Giants. I mean, maybe they're a little gassed out, but yeah, I like the Cowboys.
Yeah. I think I could make up any excuses I wanted to pick Denver in this game based off of what I saw last week, but I just think Denver's a damn good football team, man. And
I think they're good
once
too.
again, kudos to Bo Nix. I was completely wrong about him. I had a little PTSD for what I saw from him early on in his college career at Auburn. Bo has turned out to be a big time playmaker. We saw a lot of calm, quiet, check down Bo Nix, slow and steady Bo Nix his last year at Oregon, which kind of turned me in a different direction away from him too, because you didn't see Bo make enough plays downfield when it wasn't just play action. But I think also kudos to Sean Payton, man. I think he's got the right finger on the pulse with him. And he's getting out of Bo Nix what you need to get out of Bo Nix. And then Bo is proving he's not afraid to make plays downfield as well. So Denver looks good to me right now. Dallas just isn't a good football team. They're a one-handed football team. And playing against Denver, that quality defense, yeah, you may score some points, but how many turnovers you gonna have? I don't think they're just gonna thrash Denver at all. So when you get into these shootouts with teams, and Dak Prescott is playing at an MVP level this season as well. But when you're a team like Cincinnati, for that matter, when you're so dependent on your offense, you put your offense in a situation where they can't afford any turnovers at all. And that's not fair for any offense. So I'm with you. Actually, no, we split on this. I'm taking Denver and you're taking Dallas. So
I am. I like the Cowboys. All
all
right.
right, so Sunday night. This is another pick 'em, I think, in my estimation. The Aaron Rodgers Bowl. Aaron is revved up for this one, I'm pretty sure.
He said this is just another game, and he's got
That's
no
right.
remorse towards the Packers at all.
That's right. No disdain at all.
No,
Um,
none.
we caught live leaked footage of Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf working out at 1 o'clock this morning on fade routes and deep posts. Aaron Rodgers also leaked footage of him running around in the celebration dance with his woo-hoos and his fist pumping. No, Aaron wants this one bad. Aaron wants this one bad, man.
Of
Packers
course.
at Steelers. The NFL knew what they was doing, making this a primetime game. Did we have any idea that Pittsburgh would be as good? Well, you can question how good they are. They
Well,
did just lose to Cincinnati.
we knew they were going to be better with Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
They were.
Right.
And that game against the Bengals, I mean, it could have gone either way. Aaron did have a couple bad turnovers. But, I mean, I think it's worked out so far in Pittsburgh with Aaron Rodgers. And there's reports out there that they want him to come back next season as well. And maybe he will.
I would think so. Look at the type of offensive play you got the last few years.
Well, yeah.
But you had Justin Fields, you had Russ, you had big time Russ. That was so.
Yeah, but
had
to me,
Pickett.
Did you see the jerseys the Steelers are gonna wear tonight?
Mm-mm.
Man, they are horrendous. They're like the bumblebee. Yeah. Like,
you don't like those?
Man, they're horrible. That alone should cost them the game. Yeah.
I like him with the black cleats. I like him.
Yeah, but obviously, Aaron's got something to prove tonight. Games in Pittsburgh, Sunday Night Football. Everyone's going to be watching, right? This is the first time he's played against the Packers since he's left.
Yeah.
It's big. It would be even bigger if the game was in Green Bay, right? But this game is a pick 'em to me, in my opinion, right? Packers, they had a tough win against the Cardinals with a backup quarterback in Jacoby Brissett. Were just able to escape the last seconds of the game. I want to pick the Packers, but something's telling me the Steelers win tonight.
It's not that far-fetched. At the end of the day, I think if you look at it matchup-wise, the Steelers do have the advantage on the perimeter. They got the advantage size-wise with DK Metcalf and speed-wise with him. You also got a guy like Calvin Austin III out there that can get out there and burn the field up. They run the ball enough to get the play action going and start taking some shots downfield. That's one of the things I think offensively that makes the Steelers so dangerous this season. And something they haven't had the last 3 years, or even 4 years for that matter. What shit? Big Ben left. That's when they started to struggle and everything. But Jordan Love has something to say about that too. They've had some injuries to their wide receiving core. In the offense, man, it's proven that when they things through Jacobs, everything else was so much better. When Jacobs is the guy that they build thing around, they run everything around on a Sunday basis, and they tight ends. I think this is an offense that's better when they don't feature the wide receiver centrically, but they run their tight ends for that matter. So it's not too that the Steelers could lose this game to Green Bay. I think Green Bay is talented enough offensively. They also that's a question. If you're the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers does it well, and that you do have Micah Parsons out there, and people talk, well, Micah Parsons' sack numbers are what they should be. Listen, that man on the last possession against Arizona single-handedly made 3 plays that affected the scoreboard and won them that game. So, you got him. You got a lot of other guys on that defensive front seven that can get after the quarterback. Question is, can Green Bay get after him? And can Aaron Rodgers maneuver enough in the pocket? Or can the offensive line protect him at all, flat out? So I agree. I think in our estimation, this is a pick 'em game. I'm going to take the Steelers mainly. They're at home. And I believe they can get into a shootout with Green Bay. I believe that's what it's going to lead to.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm taking Pittsburgh. They've had some extra days to prepare for this game. Yeah, give them Pittsburgh.
All right, so Monday night, Commanders at Chiefs. First time
Marcus Mariota.
Yeah.
Marcus Mariota's going to play. Daniel's got a hamstring injury.
Yeah.
I mean,
mobile quarterback.
I don't need too much time to pick this game. I like the Chiefs.
Any chance Dan Quinn defense, Steve McNair defense, we get into one of those quiet, low-scoring games where the Commanders do just enough to stay involved, maybe by a field goal or two. Mariota can't get out big these now. I'm just trying to listen. I'm painting a picture possibly for the Commanders, the Chiefs as well. I think they're kind of figuratively hitting their stride, a little bit offensively, all baseball, but Chiefs at home Monday night, where they were there before. I'm going to take the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chiefs. I see no way the Commanders win, even though Terry McLaurin is back tomorrow, and so is Deebo Samuel. I think we got a connection issue. But yeah, no, Chiefs, to me, they're back on track, especially with all their offensive weapons now. It's a tough place there to play in Kansas City, especially if you're playing with your backup quarterback, even though Marcus Mariota did beat the Chiefs a couple years back in the playoffs when he was a quarterback for the Titans. But yeah, give me the Chiefs.
How do you by the
I think I lost you. Yep, bad connection issue. But yeah, those are our picks for this week, and games are about to, kick off here in a couple minutes. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll talk to you guys on Wednesday.